Welcome to our kids' story time. I've got to have a different hat. This hat, I thought I'd put that hat on to kind of match my outfit. So how's that look? I have a special story to share with you today. It comes in a little book form, and this book is rather old. And so I have to be very careful with it. The pages are starting to fall apart, so it may take me just a little longer to turn from page to page as we see it. And this story is it's what you would call an autobiography. An autobiography is a story that's been written by the person that tells their own story. It's their own life story. That's an autobiography. Sometimes you may have read a story about someone that someone else wrote about this person. That's called a biography. If you read a biography, that's been written by somebody other than the person they're telling about. But when you read an autobiography, it's that very person's own story about themselves. And so this is their own story, okay? And here we go. This is Snowflake. This is Snowflake's very own story. Snowflake is a little lamb that was born into a flock of sheep, and the shepherd named this little lamb Snowflake because the shepherd said it was the whitest little lamb he'd ever seen born. So this is the story of Snowflake, as Snowflake tells it. So, Snowflake says, I was born in the spring, when the fruit trees were blooming and the birds were singing and all the world was beautiful in its green, green dress. Of course, he was talking about the grass and the leaves on the trees. Of course, I did not know what a real snowflake was, for only on the highest mountain ridges does the snow fall in our country. And that is, I did not know until one day when something dreadful, something awful happened to me. Every morning, our strong shepherd took us out to a pasture, to a different spot where we could eat. I always tried to be the first one out of the door and the sheepfold when he opened it early in the morning. I could hardly wait to get started, for my legs wanted to run and jump, and my mouth wished for the sweet, juicy grass. Sometimes the master said, Now, Snowflake, don't be in such a hurry. But I knew that he loved me, for he always gave me a friendly pat as he scolded me. I would jump about and hop about until the old sheep slowly moved out of the narrow door one after another. And then we'd finally get started. And the path through the mountains to our pasture was not always an easy one to follow. I wondered if I could not find better places to go than up the rocky, winding way which the shepherd led us. The old sheep never looked to the right side or to the left, even when they could see patches of light green grass not far away. They followed close behind the shepherd until he stopped at the place where they were going to spend the day. And then they would begin to eat. And most of them stayed close to the shepherd all day long. I thought they were very foolish, for I discovered exciting places all by myself. It seemed that the greenest grass always seemed to be farther away. Once I saw some juicy patches at the bottom of a steep pile of rocks. I was sure that I could jump down there on my spry young legs and climb back up again. But oh no. When I had gone part way, I discovered that my leg was stuck between two of the rocks. I felt very thankful when the shepherd came along with his long crook and hooked it around my neck, and he pulled me up out of there. Ooh. And we had another exciting day when A couple great big lions came sneaking out of the woods. But our watchful shepherd, he saw them almost as quickly as we sheep did. He jumped up and put a sharp stone in his slingshot, and more quickly than I can tell you about it, he let that stone fly straight for the lion's head. Then as the lion turned around with a roar of pain, roar, and started to run for the woods, our brave shepherd grabbed up his heavy stick and he ran after him. I felt like staying close to the shepherd myself that day. But usually I wasn't that careful. I loved to run ahead of the other sheep and find the tenderest grass before they got there. Sometimes the shepherd would get very cross at me for running so far ahead that he could not see where I had gone. And then he would call for me, and I hated to turn around when I heard his voice calling, "Snowflake, Snowflake, come back! Come back here, Snowflake!" I like to have my own way and go wherever I pleased without someone always calling me back. Usually I took a few more bites after I heard my name, after I heard the shepherd calling me, and then I ran back. But one day I was very bad. I did not go back. The days were getting colder, for it was winter in the Holy Land, and I thought that I was very grown up and quite a big lamb. And the bright, crisp air and the sunshine made me feel as if I could jump over anything that came into my path. I was so full of life that the shepherd noticed how happy I was that morning. And the shepherd said, "Be careful, Snowflake. You have a bad little look in your eye today. You stay close to the rest of the flock today. I think the weather's going to get bad." Yeah, I thought to myself, I do have a bad look in my eye because I'm not going to be treated like a baby anymore. Today I'm going to have a really good time before winter comes. And my mother had already told me about it. It really does come. And I thought to myself, I'll show all these old pokey old sheep what a good time looks like, and I'm really going to have a good time. I was disappointed when I saw the meadow that the shepherd chose for our day's eating. It was not nearly so far away from home as many of the places where he had taken us before. It was close by. The grass was not so green. It wasn't as green as that which we had had yesterday. Right then and there, I determined to find some good grass for myself. So I played around, not eating much, until my mother and the shepherd both were looking the other way, and then I ran off behind a big rock, which I'd seen not far away. And if you want to know what happens next, you have to stay tuned for tomorrow's story. All we know is that little Snowflake, when the shepherd looked the other way, and when his mama looked the other way, he darted off. And he ran around a big rock where he couldn't be seen. And you'll have to wait till tomorrow to find out what happens to Snowflake. Have a good day.